Am I the asshole for kicking my future brother-in-law out of my wedding for what he did to my kids? My sister met her fiancé, Tim, 2 years ago. We only meet at my parents' house as I live in the next town with my now wife and my 2 step-kids, 4, 6. Tim doesn't like kids. He's made it clear how much he's uncomfortable being around them. Every time I brought my kids to my parents' house, Tim started acting out. He tried to indirectly ban the kids from visiting their grandparents' house. Dad was firm, but Tim never stopped trying to exclude my kids from family events. Wife and I wanted to have our wedding at our house. A small celebration. Tim asked if there were gonna be kids at the wedding. My kids were the only ones at the wedding since we didn't have many guests. He tried to talk us out of involving my kids in the wedding and make it an adult event, but I told him to keep his thoughts to himself. My kids were excited to be part of the wedding. Tim and my sister arrived late. The kids were with us the entire time. Tim looked visibly upset till he suddenly offered to take the kids to bathroom so they wash up before eating. Minutes later he came back. I asked where the kids were. He said he took them to their bedroom cause they wanted to play with their toys. I thought it was out of character for them. I wondered why they suddenly didn't want to eat since they said they were hungry. I wanted to check on them but got busy with my aunt's ankle injury. My younger sister came telling us the kids' bedroom's door was locked and the kids were inside. My wife and I were in shock. We looked for the key. I asked my sister if she was the one who locked them in. But Tim said he did it, saying he was worried they'd wander around unsupervised and wanted to make sure they were safe since everyone was busy. I took the key and got the kids out. My daughter told me Tim said I didn't want them to go outside and that I'd punish them if they did. They're my kids now, of course I want them to be in my wedding. My wife was speechless. I lost my shit on Tim. I called him a cruel, selfish for lying and doing this to my kids, trying to exclude them. And told him to get out. My sister defended him and was crying, calling me offensive names. I kicked her out too. My parents argued, saying what I did was unnecessary since Tim was just trying to help. They tried to get my wife to get involved before my sister decided to cut me out completely for what I did. I argued that they were unreasonable to think I was being bitter and explained why I kicked him out, but they still blamed me for my extreme reaction since Tim had good intentions. My wife was quiet all the time, probably wondering what the hell type of family she just married into. I don't blame her. My parents insist I talk to my sister and Tim, and everyone apologizes since this seemed to be a major misunderstanding. I refused, but they kept repeating the same thing. My parents say this must be a misunderstanding since Tim doesn't know how to deal with kids. However, they went quiet after they heard what my daughter said. My sister claimed that it's his way of getting kids to behave. Adding this, my wife received an email from Tim apologizing since he couldn't reach out to me because I blocked him. My wife's being pressured by my parents now, asking us to be a little more graceful since Tim apologized, but my sister hasn't. That's why my parents want us to talk to her. I'm deciding to go no contact for the time being because of this, and also more importantly to focus on my wife and kids. Hold on. This guy came to your house, got your kids and locked them in their room? Do we even need to say it up? Not the asshole. Ban this man from your house. Ban you sister if necessary, and to whoever tells you you are overreacting, tell them that you are being calm enough. This is beyond cruel. That was dangerous, and that man is dangerous to have around. Ask your sister if this is the kind of man she wants to have around when married. God forbid she ever gets pregnant by accident. Not the asshole. Fuck Tim. What if one of your kids had gotten injured while being locked in there and you had no idea? He has no right to lock your children away regardless of his discomfort around kids. Don't apologize, you did nothing wrong. If he dislikes kids, that doesn't mean children are banned from being around him. If he was that uncomfortable, he should have left. Your response was appropriate, and both he and your sister owe you, your wife and your kids, an apology. Oh hell no, you are not the asshole. I'm trying to wrap my head around how a guy who hates kids is trying to do the right thing by lying to 2 young children and locking them into their bedroom. That just doesn't compute. Do not, ever, apologize for kicking Tim and your sister out of your house and wedding over this. The health, safety, and well-being of your wife and kids are the top priority. NTA. Can Tim even be around kids? He's almost overwhelmingly trying not to be around kids. Maybe legally he can't be around kids and he just doesn't want to say anything about it. Not the asshole. He lied to the kids to scare them into staying in their room before locking the door. Then he lied about why the kids were in their room. If he was legit worried about their safety, he should have discussed it like a fucking adult. He knew he was in the wrong, or he wouldn't have lied about it. And it is incredibly worrisome that your parents are actually defending him. Be sure to have them explain how helpful it is to lock someone away under false pretenses, all because they don't like them. I'm kind of in shock that you let a professed child hater take your kids alone and then didn't check on them immediately when you realized they weren't around. Not the asshole for cutting him out, but come on, do better. Not the asshole. Tim sounds like a diddler who can't resist or should be or is on a list. Not the asshole, but I would seriously check on your sister. If he's willing to lock children in a room and lie about them being punished, he sounds abusive. And abusers are very good at getting the people they're abusing to believe lies and that they are good guys. Get your sister out away from him and keep him away from your family. Not the asshole. If this is real, it's really fucking weird the lengths Tim went to in getting rid of your kids. Like, super fucking weird. Like, suspiciously fucking weird. A normal human being with any sense who didn't want to be around kids would have just avoided or ignored them. Classic neutral response to reinforce not coming to them because nothing interesting results. Or, they'd have brought a fun but quiet distraction like a Where's Waldo book. This was really weird and inappropriate to lock up such young kids. Either this post is baloney, or there is something very concerning about Tim's behavior. I would take some time to cool off if I were you and, then, discuss this with both your wife and sister. It may be nothing, but this could also be a huge red flag. Hell no, not the asshole. And it's high time your sister wakes the hell up. There is something very wrong with this guy. Not the asshole, and I would say the same had you kicked his ass literally out the door. How dare he? It would honestly worry me to even have him anywhere around the kids because of what he may do to traumatize them. That your parents can't see the manipulation and disdain he has shown the kids is terrible. I would not talk to my sister either because she is so brainwashed by her fiancé she will not ever see your concerns. I really hope she never gets pregnant because that man is a tool. Not the sharpest in the bag, but certainly the biggest. I say this as someone who also is not particularly fond of children. Are you fucking kidding me? Tim and all of his little defenders can get the duck out. He locked your children in a room and told them you would be mad at them for going to their father's wedding. If you're the asshole, these people do not want to meet me. Unequivocally not the asshole. Not the asshole, but your entire family and soon-to-be brother-in-law are all AHs. Best of luck to you and your new family. Not the asshole, and frankly, given his bizarre reaction to children, Tim should not be allowed around your kids or any other. Not the asshole. Trying to help, my ass. If he was genuinely worried they'd wander off or something, he would have said that to you, or kept an eye on them or something, not lied to both them and you about what he was doing and why. If children make him uncomfortable, he can refuse to invite them to his house. He can refuse to go places where he knows they'll be. He does not get to lure them away from their parents, threaten them with punishment, and lock them up. Name what he did. Get really specific. People often soften how they speak about things when one person is upset, angry about someone's behavior and the other is trying to excuse it. If he'd done it to a stranger's children, right now he'd probably be being charged with kidnapping and false imprisonment. Not the asshole. One odd question I have, locks on the children's bedroom doors? I don't think my parents had a lock on their bedroom. We had a lock on the bathroom door. Not the asshole. I am rarely a fan of straight up telling someone to fuck off, but in this case it is warranted. Tim can fuck right off, along with the family members defending him. It's your wedding, your house, your kids, your rules. If Tim didn't want to be around kids, he should have skipped the event, not locked the host's children in a room. He would never cross the threshold of my house again. And the family can suck it. Not the asshole. Tim is an absolute psychopath who has no business being at your wedding after showing such unhinged cruelty towards two small children. Old Tim needs to go away. 100% not the asshole. Tim is a monster. I wouldn't trust him around my kids, and the rest of your family are assholes if they even remotely took Tim's side on this. Absolutely not the asshole. He locked your kids in a room and then lied to you about it. He was not trying to help anyone but himself and could have endangered the children, leaving them unsupervised and locked in a room. Sincerely, a person who also isn't a fan of children but does have a brain. Not the asshole. Wow. So NTA your brother-in-law however is dangerous. Today it's locking them in a bedroom and lying about it. Next time it's driving them out somewhere and dumping them. It wasn't his place to lock them anywhere, and he absolutely did it just to get rid of them. Not the asshole. Tim locked your children in a room during your wedding which you wanted them at because he doesn't like children. In no way did Tim think he had good intentions, otherwise he would have told you what he did. He is selfish and your sister should not marry him. Not the asshole. What good intentions did he have? Being a selfish asshole at an event that's not his and locking children that aren't his in a room alone? And they couldn't get out? And lying about it? If people feel the need to explain to justify their shitty actions, they most likely knew what they were doing was wrong in the first place. This seems so crazy, I'm hesitant to believe its authenticity. However, nothing that I just read makes me feel like you were an asshole. That guy has a lot of nerve, and if it was me I would have been trying to hold myself back from fighting him. Not the asshole. Tim is shit and the people supporting his actions are spineless. You did what a parent is supposed to do and stood up for your kids. Oh my god, not the asshole. I would have called the cops on Tim for child endangerment and abuse. They aren't even his kids yet he felt the need to take two innocent children and lock them in their bedroom. Fuck him. Fuck your sister and fuck your parents for trying to brush this under the rug. You did fantastic standing up for those kids and you wanted them to be in the wedding, so what they're saying is absolute bullshit. Make it clear you don't want anything to do with Tim after that or your sister if she chooses to enable that kind of behavior, and that you're considering pressing charges for what he did. Someone in comments tell me could OP press charges on Tim for this? He basically kidnapped the kids and locked them in their own bedroom for hours and basically threatened them. Not the asshole. Tim is one sick. I wonder if he could be prosecuted for his behavior? In any case, he deserved to be kicked out, and you probably shouldn't socialize with him in the future. I wonder what the hell is wrong with your sister and your parents? This sounds suspiciously similar to a story posted a while back about a man who recently was widowed and a friend was trying to set him up but didn't like their special needs child being around and locked them away. Either way, you are not the asshole. I hate children and avoid them as much as possible, however. Family gatherings are for family, of all ages. Your wedding is your wedding, not his, and he had no right to do what he did. Don't apologize and don't have him around your kids. No matter how much I don't care for them, I could still never hurt a kid. More likely I'd just hang in a corner away from them. It's not hard to not be a jerk. Not the asshole. Locking them in was completely unacceptable. And what makes it worse, he told two young kids that their new stepdad didn't want them there and would punish them. It wasn't just an asshole move, it risked causing irreparable damage to your relationship and could have seriously harmed those poor kids psychologically. Not the asshole. No one knew where a 6 and 4 were and they were locked in their room. Also unclear on why you can lock the outside of their bedroom door anyway? That's not a misunderstanding, it's an adult locking up a toddler and a kindergartner because he doesn't like them. What if one of them got hurt and they were stuck there? Jesus, he probably his kids tied up in his basement. Disturbing. Not the asshole. Please check the watchdog lists and never allow him near your kids again. Not the asshole. Tim is a horrible human being, and for your parents to think this is okay means they don't deserve to be around your wife or children. He literally put them in danger by locking them in that room. Kick them all out, and I hope this goes viral so they all see how rotten they are. Not the asshole. You have absolutely nothing to apologize for and Tim's actions were reprehensible. He wasn't trying to help because he was worried about them. He was trying to enforce his rules on your children, not his place. Your parents are wrong for trying to get you to apologize and for refusing to see how awful he really is regarding your children. Stand your ground. This entire story made my skin crawl. Serious red flags flying. He didn't want to be around kids at your wedding. Y'all told him it wasn't going to be like that, and he took the situation into his own hands to ensure it was exactly like that in his favor. Good intentions, my ass. Tim locked your kids up like all behaved dogs. Why are your parents defending this creep? At your wedding? At your house? Fuck him. Not the asshole. If I was you, he'd never take a step inside my house again. Not the asshole. Tim is a cartoon villain and your family are a bunch of enablers. Not the asshole. Isn't forced confinement illegal? I don't know what the laws are, I'm presuming this is the US, but if someone locked my children up without my knowledge, I'd be phoning the police and having him charged. There's no situation here where you're the asshole. I would be having a talk with your parents and let them know there's no world where you are going to apologize. There was no misunderstanding. The creep and your sister should never be around your kids again. No more family trips to the grandparents until they apologize for being idiots. Not the asshole. He's a danger to children, and you are better off going no contact with your parents and your sister until they accept and understand that what this guy did was completely fucked up. Congratulations on your marriage and kiddos, they're worth it. Not the asshole. Your daddy doesn't want you at his wedding and you'll be punished if you go. Send Tim the bills for the years of therapy this causes. Info. Does Tim have a criminal records? Because his fear of being in the same room as a child stinks of someone on the sex offender registry. Tim was trying to help. Sure, he was ya crazy ass family. His behavior is beyond assholish and is downright abuse. Sorry for your kids being hurt. Don't let Tim be alone with them ever. Not the asshole. I don't like kids. I don't like dealing with kids. I would prefer if events I attend are child-free. I would never lock someone else's children into a room, unsupervised, unfed, and then lie to the children's parents. And I would not threaten someone else's children either. Absolutely none of that is acceptable behavior. What is wrong with this guy? Good on you for sticking up for these kids. Not the asshole. Locking kids in a room is not a misunderstanding. What the actual fuck? Not the asshole. Cut all ties with him before the next misunderstanding occurs. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I feel I need to emphasize that. Tim is awful, and your sister and parents are enabling this behavior from a grown-ass man, so they aren't any better. I'm pissed for you. What a shitty thing to do to kids, and to do it to someone else's kids nonetheless. I would start banning Tim from events at your home. And give your kids whistles when he's around so they can blow them to get another adult's attention if he's being a dick. No. He's the asshole and fucking abusive, and everyone else who supports him supports his abuse. Locking kids up is abuse. He should be charged and prosecuted. So not the asshole. WTF? That guy is a major You need to tell him that he gets no say in when your kids are at your parents' house. And I would go as far as tell him he is never allowed to even talk to the kids again. Wow, I'm pissed off for you 100% not the asshole. What your future BIL did was not only disgusting, it also could have led to disaster in so many ways. Your sister should have stood up for her nieces, nephews, kick them both to the curb and never look back. Not the asshole. He trapped your kids in a room. You were right to call him cruel and selfish. I would never trust him around the kids again. Narrator. Tim did not have good intentions. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Tim's hiding something. Please make it your job to find out what it is.